All right, are you planning on making the move to Kelowna and then all of a sudden you start to hear everyone saying West Kelowna this, West Kelowna that, and you suddenly realize there's a whole other half to this city that people rarely talk about it. That's right, West Kelowna is directly across the bridge from Kelowna and it doesn't nearly get as much love as it should. So today I'm gonna take you on a full vlog tour all around West Kelowna and teach you everything you need to know about Kelowna's more affordable half. Let's check it out. All right, everyone, there's no better place to start this West Kelowna tour off than downtown West Bank. I am outside the Johnson Bentley Memorial Community Center at the skate park. I used to be a skater. I thought this would be a great place to take the video because if you are a skateboarder, you have family, kids that are skateboarders, this is what I consider the best skate park plaza in all of Kelowna. You know, we have a couple, one in Rutland, downtown city center. This one way out in West Bank, some people don't even know about it, and you know, it's one of the best places to come. But downtown West Bank is a fantastic area and it's kind of the heart of the West Kelowna city. You know, it is nowhere near as big and populated. There's not as many amenities as downtown Kelowna, but it still does have its charm. In this area, you're gonna find the majority of your stores, shopping centers. You have this little strip along the highway here that's gonna have some restaurants, some breweries, and then you're gonna have fantastic access to your big box stores like Superstore, Canadian Tire, Home Depot, and really everything you need besides Costco. So to prevent you from having to constantly go over that bridge. Now, West Bank as a community, what you can expect from this area, it's one of the furthermost west communities heading out of town. This in Glen Rosa, you're gonna have great access to South Okanagan, so Penticton area, and if you're leaving to Vancouver, it's gonna be a breeze. It's gonna be another one of those areas that if you're having to commute into Kelowna all the time, it's gonna be a bit of an issue. You're about as far as you can possibly be from the east side of the bridge. But this is one of two of the most affordable neighborhoods in all of Kelowna and West Kelowna combined. The average asking price right now at the time of this video is under $600,000 for a property. Now, there's a huge caveat I have to say with that, because if you're thinking just jumping into any single family home for under $600,000 in the Okanagan, you will have to pinch yourself because you are dreaming. The reason properties in this area are so affordable is because a large majority of the properties here and the areas under leasehold land. Now, if you have no idea what leasehold is, I'm not going to go through everything to do with leasehold because that's a whole nother video altogether, but I will give you the brief rundown. So when you regularly buy a property, you buy a property freehold. You own the land, you own the building, you own everything on it, and you have free reign to do whatever you want. In West Kelowna, there's what's called leasehold land properties. So with that, you're purchasing the building, but the land below it is leasehold. It's owned by the West Bank First Nations, and you're essentially leasing the land to live on it. Now, it sounds a lot sketchier than it is, and even people here, when you bring up leasehold, they shy away from it. They're like, I don't want to be involved in anything to do with that. Trust me when I say there's no reason to back away from it. Just talk to someone, reach out to me, and I'll give you kind of a breakdown of what leasehold's actually about. Many of these leasehold properties are under a 100+ year lease, so you're never actually going to have to worry about the land getting taken away from you for the majority. And there are a ton of new modernized lease agreements that are coming into play all around West Kelowna that are really updated, provide you with a lot of protection and alleviate a lot of those concerns people have with purchasing leasehold properties. Now, the biggest thing you're gonna hear when people bring up leasehold is like, I don't want to buy leasehold because I don't want someone to come take my land back whenever they please. Listen, that's not how it works. That's not how lease properties work. That's not how leases work in general. So just give yourself some education, because if you're tight on a budget, you want to be in a single family home, there is not going to be a better option for you than leasehold properties. They are so much more affordable because they're a little more complicated, but you have an agent, a real estate agent. Get yourself with a good lawyer too that has some experience like myself with dealing with leasehold properties. They're gonna simplify the process, take all the headache away from you, and get you into a great home at an affordable price. Now, West Bank too has tons of apartments, 55+ communities, and it's also gonna give you access to the beach as well. The tail end of the Lakeview Heights community is going to turn into the West Bank Center, and there's some private beaches down there. You're going to have access to the waterfront. And overall, kind of like Kelowna South on the Kelowna side, it's probably one of the more diverse areas you can purchase a property in West Kelowna. So if that sounds appealing to you, you're interested, make sure you reach out. And I highly consider taking a look at this area as an option for you. Now, a quick little caveat, little history piece, little fun fact. I said I was outside of the Johnson Bentley Memorial Community Center. I'm not gonna get into the full story, but if you're into true crime at all, you wanna hear a horrific, bone-chilling story, look up why that community center is named after the Johnson and Bentley family, because it is a horrifying, horrible, crazy story that you should definitely, if you're gonna move here and you wanna learn a little history about the place, check it out. It's pretty messed up, but honestly, it is an interesting story, and check it out. But now let's quickly move on to the next most affordable neighborhood in all of West Kelowna. All right, now I'm here in the Glen Rosa neighborhood. So this, we started out in downtown, one of the most affordable areas, not even just in West Kelowna, but in all of Kelowna. And now we are in Glen Rosa, which I consider it to be the most affordable neighborhood in this entire city. So this is a beautiful, again, suburban area. It is the westernmost neighborhood in West Kelowna, so it's the last neighborhood you're gonna hit as you go out of town. The things Glen Rosa is known for, it has great access to, if you're leaving the city, you're heading towards Vancouver, it's gonna be great for that. It's great for if you're heading down south, you're going to Peachland, Penticton, Summerland, you're gonna hit that all along the way. And the thing I love about it here is it is very much a self-sustaining community in the fact that it is a ways from Kelowna. If you're having to commute that 9 to 5 job daily into Kelowna or even deep into the east side of Kelowna, it's gonna be tough. The traffic, if you take a look at it, just the traffic this morning, now there was some kind of issue with the lights today, so traffic was extremely backed up, but it can be quite an issue going from Glen Rosa to Kelowna. And it's probably gonna be the worst commute you could have in the city. So if that's the kind of lifestyle you're gonna have, you have that 9 to 5 job, you have to work in Kelowna. Yeah, you have great affordability here, but you just have to be aware that it is going to be one hell of a commute into town. But I love the fact that it is a self-sustainable community. You have some fantastic schools, you have great access to nature out here. It's beautiful, it's quiet, it's peaceful. And again, the affordability in this area, the average housing price at the time of this video is around $817,000, but there's plenty of options here in the mid to high sixes into the sevens, which for a single family home in anywhere in Kelowna or even West Kelowna is kind of unheard of. So if you're looking for a budget option in a family-friendly neighborhood, Glen Rosa is going to be top of your list for sure. Now the styles of homes here vary. You're going to have a ton of 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s builds, but there is some areas with new developments and newer style builds. Average square footage around this area is going to be around 2,200 square feet. And you'll see from some of these B-roll shots that ton of nature, ton of green around you. And if peace and tranquility is the name of the game, you want to live in probably one of the most quiet areas in West Kelowna, this is going to be a great option for you. All right, I am just outside Callamore Regional Park. And before we get to our next double feature neighborhood, you can tell already West Kelowna has a ton of diversity in its neighborhoods. And if you want to have an expert walk you through all the areas that are going to work perfect for you and your family, but more importantly, all the areas that absolutely aren't going to work for you, you got to reach out to me. Call me, text me, days, nights, weekends, and know that I got your back when moving to this beautiful Okanagan Valley. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel. What are you doing? You're gonna get more content like this. If you're moving to the area, I'm gonna give you so much information on the entire Okanagan and Kelowna that you're not gonna wanna miss a single video that I post. Now, without further ado, let's get to the next neighborhood. All right, now I am in one of the most popular communities in all of West Kelowna, and that's the Shannon Lake area. And I'm gonna talk about two communities actually. Shannon Lake, and it's kind of neighbor community, Smith Creek. So Shannon Lake centers around, yeah, you guessed it, Shannon Lake. And right now I'm in the Shannon Lake Regional Park. It's a beautiful park, tons of people out right now fishing. There's gorgeous hiking trails all around this entire park. And the reason this community is so popular is, well, one, it's beautiful. It's not too deep into West Kelowna. It's not too close to the bridge. It has some incredible single family homes in a variety of prices from high 7s to 8s all the way up to definitely some luxury properties in the million, 1.5 plus. It really has everything here. I love it here because it has, the Shannon Lake Regional Park right here. That's gorgeous. It's an awesome spot to fish. The Shannon Lake Golf Course. There's really two golf courses, Two Eagles Golf Course and Shannon Lake. And I think Shannon Lake, it's so affordable to golf here, and it feels like it should be a way more expensive course. It's challenging, it's beautiful. You have some incredible shots of the entire Okanagan Valley from it. So if you are a golfer It's probably the course I would recommend most to check out if you're going to be living in West Kelowna or even coming here to visit. That's the nice thing too. Two Eagles and Shannon Lake, I feel, are so much more affordable than the Kelowna courses, and you get such a better style and quality of course for the price. A nice option too, and I feel like you get some more affordability, just like how Kelowna has houses around Sunset Ranch, Gallagher's Canyon. There are some great housing options around the Shannon Lake golf course, which I always feel like they're a little more affordable when they're on a golf course, and sometimes that's somebody's dream. My brother and sister-in-law live on a golf course, and every time I go to visit them, I get jealous because it is an awesome lifestyle. You feel like you're in this vacation community. So if you're in Shannon Lake, you love golf, you're looking for something to be close to the course, there's some awesome options for that as well. So I think that's another huge plus for West Kelowna. Now, Smith Creek is kind of like Kelowna's southeast community. From my knowledge of Smith Creek and the places I've gone and looked out there, I've seen some beautiful brand new builds out there, some decent lot sizes, but I thought on average the lot sizes were gonna be at least an acre plus, but after doing some research, looking back even a couple of years and selling, because right now the average lot size is barely 0.5 that's currently listed. So I went back a little bit, but no, the average lot size is still under an acre here. So it's not quite that rural living that you get in southeast Kelowna, but Smith Creek definitely has some more space, some farmland, some vineyard properties, and some luxury estates out there. It's gonna give you a little bit more space in terms of the other communities in West Kelowna while still having great access to the box stores. Smith Creek community gets you in the back door for where some of the big grocery stores and that are. So it's nice access for that. And it's really sprawled out. The Smith Creek area, I would say, is probably where most of the newer developments are gonna be going in, because there is a decent amount of land out there. So if you're looking for new builds, I've had clients get in some really beautiful new builds out there that give you incredible views. That's another thing with Shannon Lake. One of our best friends lives in Shannon Lake, and their view off of their deck is second to none. You see all of Kelowna, you see down to Penticton, so you do get some incredible views here as well. I mean, the farther back and off the highway you're gonna go, the less of that lake view you're gonna get. But these are two fairly large areas, so it's like with everything, every place in Kelowna I've talked about, no community just has one thing. So you're gonna have a whole variety to choose from, and there are a ton of great options. Shannon Lake has some premier communities like Talus Ridge, and that's the thing about some of these larger areas. There's a large area, and then there's like sub-communities, sub-suburbs, and then there's these sub-communities inside of them that are kind of the most popular area of the entire neighborhood, just like where we're gonna be heading next. All right now I am in one of the most popular communities in all of West Kelowna, and that is Rose Valley, which is a smaller sub-community of the West Kelowna Estates neighborhood. Now, West Kelowna Estates, one of the best parts about it, besides its diverse range of houses, from a ton of luxury houses to great communities like Rose Valley here and West Harbor, is going to be its close access to the bridge. Even with Lakeview Heights there, West Kelowna Estates has the best access to the bridge. So if you want to live in a place where maybe you can get some more affordability for a larger house, but still be close to downtown Kelowna or access to the east side if you have to go to work, West Kelowna Estates is by far the best community for that. Now, the average house price here at the time of this video is around $1 million, and the average square footage for a house is just under 2,800 square feet. You back right up onto the mountain here. You have great access, like I said, to the bridge. Also, West Side Road, which brings you right to Vernon, so you actually don't have to go all the way through Kelowna and that to get to Vernon. If you want, you can take West Side Road. Just know it's an extremely windy road. Beautiful scenery. You're right along the water. If you've never driven on roads like that, like before I came out here from Northwest Ontario, I'd never driven on these kind of mountainside lake roads, swerving along everything, very tight. It's only 2 lanes. Just be prepared. It can be a little white knucklish, not so much West Side Road, but when you're driving on the bigger mountain roads like the Coquihalla, just be a little prepared for that. And the one thing I will say about this community in Rose Valley, and also the Lakeview Heights neighborhood as a whole, if you're on the Boucherie Mountain side of it, is you have to consider the slope of your house and the slope of your driveway, because a lot of people, I've noticed, they'll get into a property, you know, it's beautiful, it has these incredible views, but a lot of times with the views, you do sacrifice an incredibly steep slope of driveway. Now, some places have the luxury of a heated driveway, but that's an expensive cost. If you can't afford that, you know, turn on the heated driveway, melt the snow. They can be an absolute pain in the ass to shovel. But not only that, icy roads in the winter when the snow melts and stuff, and if your driveway is icy at all, or even backing out of, I've been in some brutal driveways in West Kelowna, and I think it's something you definitely want to consider when buying these houses, because a lot of places like in Rose Valley, a lot of homes are built up against the side of the mountain on the hill. So that can be one of the sacrifices that you have with properties here. But besides that, West Kelowna Estates does have some incredible new developments, like I was talking about West Harbour. And I will say West Kelowna Estates probably has some of the, if not the most luxury properties, I would have to say. There's some beautiful areas and some stunning new build homes here. So if you want to be in a brand new development, you want to still have some access to the water, because there are some communities in West Kelowna Estates that do have that water access. If you want to be in close proximity to the bridge, this is going to be a fantastic option for you. And there's also incredible access to nature right now. I was going to go shoot this video walking through Rose Valley Regional Park, but it is closed right now, so I wasn't able to do that. But you have tons of access to hiking trails and mountain biking trails here. So it does have a little bit of everything, and I highly recommend checking it out. We're dwindling down the communities left here in West Kelowna, so let's get on to the next and final one. All right, we did it. The end of the tour, the final neighborhood, the piece de resistance, my favorite West Kelowna neighborhood, and that's gonna be Lakeview Heights. Now, the reason I love Lakeview Heights is, well, one, it's a community that's right along the water. You're gonna get some incredible views of the water, the Okanagan, the Kelowna side, and you can really take in the whole valley from some of these homes. And of course, one of the other reasons why I love this neighborhood is the West Kelowna Wine Trail. I said that like 4 times, I had to edit it out because a bit of a tongue twister. Runs all along Boholij Mountain. So Boholij Mountain, it's kind of the staple of this neighborhood. The neighborhood is situated around it, and Mount Boholij Road runs alongside of it, and you're gonna get 30 plus, 20 plus, I don't know the exact number of wineries, some fantastic winery, some breathtaking views from these vineyards, some amazing restaurants, and of course, some world-class wines, which is what the Okanagan is known for. Whether or not you're a wine lover though, I think this neighborhood is fantastic. You're close to the Lake Okanagan shopping center that's gonna have some amenities for you, bank, it's got the movie theater there, it's got a bowling alley there, some restaurants. Then you have some premier communities inside this neighborhood, like Kelowna, which is going to be the closest neighborhood in Lakeview Heights that's near the bridge. You're going to have the Green Bay area, which is kind of on the flats, but right on the water. And of course you have this, I call it the Vineyard Estates, where every road is named after Merlot, a vineyard, a type of wine, and this is where you're getting the incredible views. There's some views you can get deeper into West Kelowna, but a lot of the views you're gonna get from here are of the mountain lakes, panoramic views. You're gonna see it in the B-roll. They are breathtaking and honestly kind of unbeatable. You get some of this stuff in Kelowna, on the Kelowna side of things, in Gordon and Kettle Valley, but it's really tough to beat some of the views in Lakeview Heights. Now, if you are a wine lover, some of the wineries I recommend checking out is anything by Jason Parks, from Black Swift, The Hatch, The Hatching Post, which is more of a barbecue joint, Mount Boholij Estates, and of course, the very well-known and famous Mission Hill Winery, which I'll be honest with you, it's not my favorite wine. It's got some great wine options, but it's the most breathtaking winery we have here. Perched up on top of the hill, you got the big tower, the bell. It is a staple of this community for sure. Now, the price ranges in this neighborhood are going to be on the higher end for the most part. When I was doing this video, I still think West Kelowna Estates has some of the more luxury properties, but I think on a whole, Lakeview Heights has more expensive homes. Right now, the average listing price for a home here is over 1.1 million, and the average square footage for a home here is gonna be that 2,800 square feet. And again, like I was talking about, like Rose Valley and West Kelowna Estates, this is another area you have to really watch out for, the steep driveways, because if you're on the Mount Boholij side of Mount Boholij Road, so that's going to be all the homes built along the mountain that are going to be looking at the lake. Some of these driveways are really steep, but the thing West Kelowna does great is you don't really have a front driveway, but you have a laneway that you can access your home from. The problem with that is often you get very small to little to no driveways at all. So you really have to pick and choose. I mean, there is areas in Lakeview Heights where you're gonna get a driveway, you're gonna get that big garage, but in a lot of these breathtaking views areas, you're kind of sacrificing the driveway, not really the garage for the most part, but the driveway and your parking areas for the views. So I think that's a pretty fair trade-off. So as you can see, West Kelowna is very diverse. I mean, especially when you're coming through this area, you're gonna notice how many options you have, what kind of different scenery, closer access to amenities, closer access to nature. And it's gonna be very similar to Kelowna in that aspect. There's not just one place for everybody. Also, if you haven't yet, you're moving to Kelowna or the Okanagan and you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel, but check out my video where I do a full tour of Kelowna and all of its neighborhoods. Because like I said, there's a ton of options. You want to know what you're getting into. You want to have some kind of notion, get advice from a local expert. So check out that video. I put a lot of work into it, and I think it does a very good job of overviewing the areas, just like this video did. So I want you to comment down below and let me know what neighborhood you like the best, what area you live in if you're a local watching this video. And again, if you're even considering a move to the Okanagan or Kelowna, make sure you reach out to me, call, text, email anytime, and I will help you. I'll make your life a whole lot easier. We have people reaching out every day, and I absolutely love it. If you're curious on what it costs to live in Kelowna, stick to the end of the video and I'm gonna put my cost of living in Kelowna updated for 2024. But for now, my name is Boholij with Century 21 Executives and the Welcome Home team. This is my channel, Living in Kelowna BC, and I will catch you in the next video.